Hi, my name's Trino Morton. I'm the Executive Director of the North End Halifax New Roots Community Land Trust. The North End Halifax New Roots Community Land Trust was founded due to the Cogswell redevelopment beginning to take place. And just looking at the history of the area, many people know about the displacement of Africville residents, but they don't know about the displacement of the African Nova Scotian population that existed in the Cogswell area. Essentially, we're asking for Parcel D to be gifted to New Roots Community Land Trust. We're also looking at acquiring a property in community right now. In addition to acquiring that property, we're also looking at retrofitting that property as a way to keep those rents deeply affordable for residents and community that need it. And those are like the overarching goals of the Community Land Trust right now. This project is important because African Nova Scotians were displaced where the Cogswell redevelopment is currently taking place, and they were moved into Uniacke Square, Mulgrave Park, and other public housing complexes with priority given to couples. So many individuals forced to move farther out, away from the close-knit community that they once knew. And nothing's been done to help us return to the status of home ownership, business owners. And worse than that, it was sold to us as transition housing with educational and economic opportunities, but we have fourth, fifth, sometimes sixth generation families living here. So who really transitioned out, and what has the city done to address those problems and actually begin to turn it into transition housing and just create more for community? There's 4 or 5 basketball courts within walking distance in my community, and that's not by mistake. When you can go down the South End and see basketball courts, tennis courts, swimming pool, and everything else. So just the disinvestment in community is why this project is important, why I brought it to residents and other African Nova Scotian community groups. I think this project is culturally significant when you look at the treatment of African Nova Scotians from Black loyalists to Africville and Cogswell to present day treatment. Looking at the condition of public housing, it was recently re-sided, and they repaved the street in community. And it's so rare that they do maintenance that I heard amongst my mom's older friends, the elders in community, that they thought a forced eviction was coming. They thought it was being fixed up for them to be moved out, which is how, like I said, rare it is to have just work done on our units. And I know how long it can take, watching my mom deal with housing and my sister currently dealing with housing, the issues that exist, the slow response times. I saw my sister have to deal with it drastically last year, to the point where my nephew was hospitalized due to a mold exposure in the home that she reached out to them for months on end, just going unanswered, and it wasn't addressed until she actually went to the news about it. So this just feels like everything in community, even your basic rights, are a fight in 2024, which shouldn't be the case, which is why we're advocating for Parcel D to be gifted to us. And this is the first step for us to begin to, like I said, transition back into those positions of homeowners and business owners, and just creating a better future for African Nova Scotians in general, but in particular our youth, because they are the future and they need better and deserve better than this. In the future, I'd hope to see Parcel D gifted to New Roots Community Land Trust for the African Nova Scotian community in the North End. In addition to that, I would just love to see HRM support on this project. It's come up a lot in our meetings. We want to have their support on this project, despite the history of engagement in community. But we want them to know that it's our project. We're leading, and by we I mean community. They're just simply an advisor, and this is a chance to begin to repair that just tumultuous relationship that exists between community and the municipality. So that's really my true goal or hope for the Community Land Trust, just being able to get the land gifted to us. And I know that is going to come with a lot of strings attached to it, developing by a certain time, but I'd rather have that opportunity and fail as opposed to never be given the chance to try. The key components of the project, firstly, just looking at our mission, it's to secure housing and land for the African Nova Scotian community in North End Halifax, specifically due to the displacement of Africville and Cogswell. And that's where those individuals were relocated. And there's a lot of other CLTs with their own differing goals and objectives. Outside of that, we are focused, and I mentioned that we have a focus on sustainability. And whenever we acquire our first property, trying to make it a sustainable build through retrofitting. And in addition to that, just community is at the heart of everything. So holding a community engagement session on retrofitting, what it is, the benefits of it, potential drawbacks of it, why we hope to do it in community, and how it could benefit residents today and in the future. So always just making sure community is not just involved in decision making, but has the knowledge to make informed decisions as well. It's always about preserving the cultural legacy of the African Nova Scotian community. So often we see public art done in these new developments, but with no actual representation of community. So this is a way to actually preserve the cultural legacy beyond just meaningless public art, and actually having residents reflected in those spaces. We just hope for meaningful partnerships with the city, the developers and construction companies we spoke to throughout the summer, and we just hope to be given a chance. And like I always say, just knowing that A&S community in the North End particularly are the ones stewarding and leading this work, and in those partnerships we want to be the ones taking the lead and giving direction and just being supportive for once, as opposed to having things dictated to us or being told what's best for us, because only we know what's best for us and what we've been lacking and missing so long in community.
My name is Mark Day. I've lived in this community my entire life. I've worked with and engaged in friendship with almost every black person that lives in public housing in this neighborhood. I believe that there's ample proof that the African Nova Scotia community that is residing within these structures of Uniacke Square, Mulgrave Park, but in particular Uniacke Square right here today, where we're having so many people at this meeting that are from Uniacke Square. I believe that there's been an injustice done, and that there has to be a unified effort to put resources in the right people's pockets, such as lawyers and accountants, that can assist the African Nova Scotian community and help them to provide a better living space for themselves. When you have neighbors that have been able to work their way up out of a bad situation, or a situation that is not as inviting to them, into a better situation, whereas my house is not far away from the Uniacke Square housing project. If people were to move up to my street or buy houses on my street, I think that is something that they would enjoy. I actually have neighbors who have done that. I actually have young people that I've worked with in the school system that have bought houses right across the street from me and up the road from me and lived as my neighbor. And I'd like to see much more of that. I think it has a great impact on how you feel. The ability to move up and to progress your family economically in a nation is an ability that everybody should have. And I would like to see more of that for anybody that lives in Uniacke Square, black, white, red, green, blue, yellow. A crisis is something that you must struggle to get out of. And we are in a struggle right now, our African Nova Scotian community, to get out of the crisis of poverty, to get out of the crisis of not having generational wealth, to get out of the crisis of not being able to be confident enough to say that the dollars that I make today, the dollars that I earn today are going to pay for the future of my children. Instead, they're just going to pay for rent increases. I think that we need a little bit more than that. I think there has to be more human compassion for our community. That's what everybody's asking for here. That's what everybody deserves here. And that's what everybody here is entitled to, a little bit of human compassion.
If you're looking to find New Roots CLT, you can find us on Instagram and other socials at the handle New Roots CLT. You can also find us at our website, nehclt.ca. There you can find more about us, our mission, our vision, our current board members, as well as send us a message about any inquiries you have or just wanting to learn more. And you can also leave us a donation to support the work we're trying to do in that African Nova Scotian community in North End Halifax. Thank you.